Good evening, everyone. Today I'll be doing my presentation on the Ford Explorer Police Interceptor utility, one of many vehicles that Ford offers in their police vehicle line, as well as a few other companies like Dodge and GM that also offer police-grade vehicles. But today alone we'll just be talking about the Ford Explorer Police Interceptor utility, and I'll tell you a couple reasons why. The first sight of them instinctively makes you want to look down at your speedometer and slam on your brakes. Often looked at as a vehicle that appears during trouble. Definitely one car that most people wouldn't want to take a ride in, but a car that is revolutionizing police vehicles, and one vehicle that has a long future ahead of itself and has a lot more duty to be called to. With all the new technology, Ford focusing is putting on the new police interceptors. Changes are, one day you might see yourself working on vehicles that might be a part of a fleet that would include the Ford Interceptor. And some of this information I'll be letting you know today could help one of you auto students to maybe have a little bit more knowledge on this police interceptor, since these are over 51% of the police vehicles today are the utility version of the Ford Explorer Police Interceptor. So we'll go into that in the next slide. Okay, so the new era of police interceptors. Now, prior to 2012, the most common police vehicle was the Crown Victoria Police Interceptor. As you see on the left, it's a very common vehicle. I'm sure you've seen it out on the road or in cities or even in your local town, just around town, or maybe hopefully you haven't seen them in your rearview mirror very much. But after the release of the Ford Explorer in 2012, the police interceptors of the Crown Victoria were phased out, and they went to the more modern SUV. And now the amount of vehicles that are out on duty today contain a little bit over 51% of the police vehicles are the Ford Explorer model of the Interceptor. So now, why the Ford Explorer? Well, with its superior performance, comfortable seating position, large cargo volume, and economic fuel economy, it's really an easy choice for today's police departments, notably so. It has a bit of everything that you need when going in the line of duty. With 52 cubic feet of storage behind the back row seats, gear, and any weapons or caution tape. I mean, in this photo you can see they have some ratchet straps and cones, and there's plenty of storage that you can keep all your tools in the back. For the line of duty. Comfy seating position. This is, kind of thinking more globally for the police officers. A lot of the complaints with the sedans and the Crown Vics were the seating position, that after multiple years, 10, 20, 30 years of duty, police officers were starting to have back issues, trying to get in and out of these vehicles. Was hard for them. So having a little bit higher seating position, a little bit better upright seating position, tend to help the police officers with that back problem. Performance, as you can see here, the performance is very, very good. I mean, that's right, 3.3 liter hybrid electric vehicle with all-wheel drive. Gives you combined horsepower 318 horsepower. The 3-liter EcoBoost all-wheel drive, 400 horsepower at 5,500 RPM, which is pretty substantial. There's a lot of horsepower there. Plenty to catch up to most any vehicles on the road if it was to happen to get into a chase. Now, these vehicles do have a limit of 120 miles an hour on highways, but it can get to that speed pretty quickly to be able to track down any vehicles on the run or any people afoot or anything. So, with great, and as well as you can see in the green, with great fuel economy, looking more globally, you can see that these police officers' vehicles are saving these police departments thousands of dollars in the long run. I mean, with the hybrid electric all-wheel drive version of this Explorer giving a 23 city and 24 highway with a 24 combined MPG, that's very, very good for an SUV where normally they only get, you can see in the lower parts, it's 17, maybe 22 highway, 19 combined, which is still good. But even from 2012 back before the Crown Vics with the V8s that they had, they were getting a lot less than that. I mean, this is for an SUV of its size, very, very good MPG. And with the hybrid electric version, the fuel economy is again even better. So now let's talk a little bit about the new technology that these vehicles are offering for these police departments. Hybrid technology, so idle shutoff, great improved fuel economy, as well as the better ability to power these electronics. Inside of these police vehicles, there's a lot of radios, a lot of chargers, screens, maps, anything that they're going to be having to charge or run inside the vehicle. And these vehicles are also constantly at idle. When they're on duty, these cars are always on idle. They're always, the alternators are always working so hard to keep those electronics running. So with a hybrid version of the vehicle, they have the ability to power all these electronics with high voltage just with a DC to DC converter and be able to keep these police officers' technology and all their equipment well charged and well ran on duty. Ford is offering a 12.1-inch integrated computer screen, reduced clutter to the driver's seat, so they don't have to have this big laptop in the driver's seat or right in the middle console. It has an intelligent touch display, and it's used for maps and tracking and anything that they will need. I mean, it's a full computer integrated into the car, ran by that hybrid battery, or if you choose to have the 3.3 liter naturally aspirated without the hybrid electric portion, or the 3.3 liter or the 3 liter with the turbo without it'll just run off of the alternators. Another feature that they've been integrating in these new police inspectors is the police perimeter alert. Blind spot information system has the ability to detect possible threats around the car, then activating the cameras that are around the vehicles. So the benefit of having this system is it gives them a 270-degree view behind the vehicle, so that when a police officer is in their vehicle and is on their screen or doing work or is trying to respond to a call or something, they can then have a system in the vehicle to show if there's any threat behind them, so that they can keep their eyes ahead to make sure that all is well approaching ahead of them. And then if there's anyone coming knocking on the window behind them or trying to sneak up behind them, that if they happen to get out of the vehicle, they don't get hurt on duties, stabbed or whatever it may be. And then another thing that Ford is implementing to go more of a global look is the Ford telematics. Fuel savings, CO2 emissions, and vehicle health information can all be uploaded into the cloud through Ford telematics and sent to all the police departments to show how the vehicles are doing, what their fuel economy's been, anything, all this information about the vehicle and how it's performing on duty. All right, so here's some of the improved safety features that the new Ford Police Interceptor is now integrating. The highest priority of these vehicles are the safety of the officers on the job. With 75 mile an hour rear crash test rating, if it happens to be on a highway, pulling someone over on the side of a highway or helping someone inside the highway, and someone slides off the ramp or slides off the road, they will be able to take the impact up to 75 miles an hour, which is quite amazing. And this definitely benefits high-rate patrol at any stops at night. Even reinforced frames As you can see in the bottom right, all these, the cars aren't the same as a regular Ford Explorer. These are really reinforced vehicles, making sure that the safety of the officer is the number one priority. Stab-proof seats in the front, so if somebody happens to have a knife with them that they missed, they couldn't stab through the seat and get the police officer. Optional level 4 ballistic door panels that can stop armor-piercing rounds. These doors are very, very thick for the line of duty, so they can take cover behind them if there happens to be a shootout. Improved windshield visibility lights and improved suspension to stay grounded on hard turns. So if these officers happen to have to take a very tight turn, the vehicle won't flip, the wheelbase will be a little bit longer, and it will be able to stay grounded, as well as the improved lights for visibility just on highway stops at night, things like that. All right. So a few questions that people might have are: is the Ford Explorer Police Interceptor just an upgraded Ford Explorer? Yes and no. The vehicle, the body, a lot of the parts, the components of it are very, very similar, if not the same, but with stronger body frame and reinforced body and the longer wheelbase for better cornering, as well as different suspension, wheels, all the door panels, a lot of the stuff is different. It doesn't come off the same assembly line. It doesn't just, I thought before doing more research, these cars come out as regular Ford Explorers, and then they go straight to an upfitter, which then upfit them into these Interceptors. But coming off of the assembly line, they come off of the assembly line as these Interceptors, with the reinforced doors, the upgraded engines, all the reinforced backing for that 75 mile an hour crashing ability. Okay, so how long has Ford been making police vehicles? Since 1950. But the Interceptor name was initiated in 1951. Ford was actually the first company to offer the police vehicle off of the line. Before then, all vehicles were just upfitted from regular consumer vehicles. Next question we made: how much will it cost any police department? So $37,500 is the base model V6. That is going to be the 3.3 liter non-turbo before upgrades and all new technology is applied. It could be a good amount more after all that tech and stuff is applied, but for now the $37,500 is just for the base V6 model, which is actually for a police department tends to be pretty fairly priced for a vehicle that'll be in service for quite a long time. All right. Now, when you come across a police Interceptor, you can have a better appreciation for what these vehicles are and what they're equipped with, and a vehicle that is very suitable to protect and serve the people of the United States. Thank you. And then these are just the sources.